plastic that seems to attract every single fingerprint within a 10-mile radius, the suede material that is so thin that it will wear down within a couple months, the fake wood that is just kind of put there and looks kind of out of place, the black gigantic strips of plastic running down every single inch of the car, and the uncomfortable rubbery leather with the steering wheel that makes my Prius look lavishly extravagant. These new cars are not comfortable. When I look at this, I think I'm in like prison or something. I don't want to sit in this car. Like when you're on a road trip and you sit in a Tesla, you're like, it's so, you can never really, let your posture fall in that car. You always just feel like you're, it's back at school or something. It's like this Hyundai Kona. Black, shiny, plastic, of course. Just crap, gigantic screens that suck, barely any storage, just awful interiors. And more people, number one, if these cars were budget cars, we would understand the plastic, we would understand the cheaper materials, right? But they're not. This is like 60, 70,000, the Kona is much more cheap. But especially in Teslas, which in my opinion have some of the most minimalist interiors, they don't even have turnstocks anymore. I chose an older one, which makes the new ones, again, look extravagant. But they're just so expensive, and they're so ugly, and they're not, you can never really sit down. You're always tense in this car. That's the feeling, tense. You're always tense in these cars. They're just not inviting, they're cold, they're bad, and the cars are just ugly and terrible, right? EVs will never catch up to gas cars. They're not comfortable cars. So you are different. You are one of the very few people, well, one of the many people, that want a car that is different. You want something warm and inviting, where when you guests walk in the car, they, let their hips relax and they, snuggle into their seat, right? That's always been a goal of mine. I don't want a cold, dark little car like this. No. You just want something nice, big, and relaxing. The first car on this list, and the best car on this list, I can say that with full confidence, is the best car ever to come out of the auto industry, the Lexus LS. The Lexus LS, especially in the back seat, has the tannest tan materials you will ever see. Real wood on both sides, 2 speakers, just in case one wasn't enough. You have leather seats that make those other cars look ridiculous. There's more detail in the stitching in these seats than there was in the whole Tesla interior. Just a beautifully brilliant, thought-out exterior, rear seat. The front seat is even better, right? You have a beautiful steering wheel with plenty of buttons and plenty of technology. You have this beautiful folding wood design with plenty of storage, heated and cooled seats, and of course more of that brilliant leather. You of course have a gigantic touchscreen with controls on the side, and overall this is a driver's car, right? The screen isn't there to be bombarding you with ads and subscription services to give Lexus more of your money. No, the screen is there so that when you're driving the car, you can have something that, can change and tell you different stats and can help you drive the car better, right? Your stereo controls are built into the wood, which makes it so nice and so beautiful. Everything is thought out. Nothing feels disjointed. You have this beautiful inner tan leather saddle, what I would describe it as, going around the wood to complement it before you transition to the black leather. This is one of the very few black leathers that I actually enjoy. The plastic is very minimal, and overall the car is just great. You will not feel a bump. You will hear the engine and hear the bumps more than you will feel the bumps. This is one of the nicest cars you can buy, if not the nicest cars you can buy with money. These are just so relaxing and calming. And from the outside, it's not like, a gigantic Lincoln Town car or anything, which is pretty similar to this. It doesn't look big. It just looks like your average normal car, right? You have plenty of trunk space, and it looks stylish. If it looked like a turd on the outside and the inside was so amazing, it would be a different story. But these look great on the outside. They look very professional. Their stature is very nice. And this one has photos of the interior. So already entering, you can see that lovely leather. This one's been worn down a little bit. Just spray it, clean it, and, that discoloration will go long. Get, a little bit of leathery conditioner goes a long way, right? You have that nice dashboard with that inlaid wood, and you're gigantic. Not a lot of people talk about how gigantic your, what's it called? Your glove boxes, right, on these cars. They're just so big for such great storage, right? You have carpet, a little bit of plastic there, that's to be expected on any car. You have a lot of a transmission tunnel, but remember, that's probably most of that's just padding, right? Your door cards look amazing. Those leather seats, they're just so deep with their padding and the comfort level, right? Looking at the dashboard, we can of course see that screen, tells you your temperature down there, and overall just a very nice car. There's wood on your steering wheel that feels nice to hold on to, right? And overall just a nice steering wheel. Not a lot of people talk about just having a somewhat decent, not awful steering wheel. Like a lot of these Teslas have like these cold, leathery ones. These ones are nice and warm. Of course, you have your outside temperature, your little information display up here, and then your major navigation screen up there. This one's obviously a little bit yellow, but even when it was new, it had a slight yellow tint to it, just to make it, nicer to look at, and not my eyes! Like the screens today, the Tesla, the white, everything's got to be white, everything's got to have an icon, all that awful graphic design that they put in these cars. Just simple, right? You can see that leather, just beautiful. It's art, right? You have your cup holders, you have your shifter, which is inlaid into the wood. You have your power and snow modes, pretty simple. You have your rear sunshades, and then your left and right sunshades, your rear heated seats, and then your front heated and cold heated seats. Just a very nice place to be, right? We can see the plastics in these interiors do crack like any plastics after 10 years, right? You have your mirror defrosting, you have your parking warning, you have your heated steering wheel, you have your eco mode, which is interesting down there, and then you have your mirror controls. Just very, very nice. The buttons on the steering wheel are what you would expect them to be, and then you have these just beautiful titanium-looking wheels. I've always appreciated these on the Lexus LS, and they especially look great here. You, of course, have your pedal lights down there, your wonderful leather running down the side of the door, your leather kind of like Lexus mark right there, very beautiful. Then this entire section is padded, and then you have some pull-out, stretchable, door card storage, which is always nice and always very nice and great to see. You, of course, have an amazing, gigantic, huge trunk. This is one of the best cars that you will ever be able to buy with your money. This one is exactly $10,000, well, $1 short of that. Rear-wheel drive, of course, it's in, Georgia. I do all my listings in Georgia. V8, just so nice. It also gets 16 city, 24 highway. Not bad numbers, but also not great. This is the most comfortable car on this list. The next car on this list, which is definitely one of the most underrated cars on this list, is the GS. The IS is more for sporty. The GS is more luxurious, but at a cheaper cost. This is still one of the best cars you can buy ever. The reason why people didn't like this particular generation is because it looks a lot like an Altima. I said that, and now you can't unsee it. But these cars are still super luxurious. So, of course, you have your spider-looking, Lexus design language. That's just what they were using in the thousands. You have your sporty-looking, inbuilt spoiler and your brake lights. Just overall a very nice vehicle. You can see that front, this one's a hybrid. And then you see the interior. That nice, beautiful leather. Again, you will have some more plastics on this car since this is a lower-trimmed Lexus. Those rear seats are still so comfortable. Of course, you still have a transmission tunnel, but this car is so great. You have your wonderful artistry leather fold right there. Then you have your door hitch, and then you have this just wonderful piece of wood over there with a little bit of speaker in the door. Not a lot, but a little. These wonderful steering wheel rims, and then your really nice Lexus steering wheel. Toyota reuses steering wheels, Lexus doesn't, and they all feel really nice to grip into and, just really tear into when you're driving. Of course, everything's perfect. This is a hybrid. You can see this stitching is perfect. The door storage is expandable. They really thought of everything, right? You can see back here your glove box, thing slides back. You, of course, have storage on the back pockets of your doors. This is what it looks like. So you have your backup camera there. Over here, you just have these little, shortcut buttons. A lot easier than going through menu to menu to menu. You just use these to change what's on the screen. Tells you your clock, the outside temperature, and then you can change the actual temperature down here, which I believe it will display up there. Just a very nice, beautiful car. Of course, you have your heated seats down there. Your different types of modes. You can have, a power mode or a snow mode, and then you have your, your suspension mode. No, this is just as normal in sport. There's no luxury, nice and cushy setting, because that is the normal setting. It's also the sport setting. Welcome to Lexus, right? You have your wonderful, weird octogenarian headlight, map lights. Still a very nice and beautiful, luxurious vehicle. Again, these are usually cheaper, but this one's a very nice one, going at $9,495. Just very nice. This is rear-wheel drive hybrid. This has a CVT, of course. The CVTs are just smooth, and in a normal car that feels weird. With this, it feels right on track. The next one is the Acura RL. This is one of my favorite luxury cars. The interior looks atrocious until you realize how nice it is, right? When you have an interior like this, you just think, oh my god, the plastics. Oh, the plastics. But in this one, it's actually really nice. You have wood there, you have your little screen there. So many bags. In my recording booth, aka closet. Anyway, you have your very nice wood there. Of course, you have the nice chrome. You have to have some chrome. It's an Acura. You have your navigation display. This is probably the worst one. Again, this is an amazing luxury car. I love it to death. But other car interiors are just better. Acura car interiors are never speaking to me, especially the gigantic wall of buttons that are there, but I would take buttons any day over a gigantic honkin' touchscreen. Overall, the exterior, it looks very mature, like this is your principal's car. We can see around the outside, not bad at all. Safety and security, very safe, very secure. Of course, we can see your little, for some reason, like, head, rolly thingy, like visor weird thing. And then, of course, you have, like, your ripping off BMW brake lights, your reverse lights. Very classy. The interior is also great. This is the entire dashboard. That wood, that just beautiful wood, heated and cooled seats. Of course, you have your screen there, well integrated, and the interior not at all disjointed. You have your wonderful steering wheel, your dual opening center console. I really like how they do this more than Lexus, actually. Lexus has the little painted knobs. These just have buttons that you do. That's how they adjust. Very nice system to use, very hands-on, very nice. You just see that wood flowing from every angle, these really nice leather seats. Overall, just a very nice vehicle to own and to have. I see these on the road all the time. The RLs are super reliable. All cars on this list are reliable. And they last forever, right? They're nice and good cars. You have my personal favorite thing about the car, the cup holders. The rear door cards are wonderful, and I love how this leather just kind of politely swoops down to kind of greet the armrest over there. You have your strangely rugged rear air vents. And like I said before, just a very nice car. If you're looking to buy one of these, they're great, but they are expensive. This is, again, just Carvana. You can definitely find these for $9,000. That's just Carvana being Carvana. Overall, they're very, very, very nice vehicles, and I would definitely recommend them because they're just so amazing. The next one is the Volkswagen Phaeton. Now, there is a weird version of this with the W12. They were great engines. They were a miracle of technology. They suck to own, though. Here's a V6. No, a V8, just a normal one, and look at it. Look at the luxuriousness. This car is super inviting. My favorite part about this car is the Volkswagen styling. It's not over the top, it's not in your face, but it's still great. Of course, it has your V8 over there, and then you have the interior. Wood flowing from every single angle of the car, a beautiful interior, and those rear seats, they're so gigantic, it'd be perfect in luxury, This is right up there with the LS. Maybe not quite, but still good. You have your information display up there. You have your regular display there. You have your fold-down wood air vents, which are very nice with the clock in there. Very classy. Just a beautiful, great car. You can feel, sitting in the back seat of this thing, you feel like you're the president, right? It's great. You have the wood over there. Everything's well thought out in this vehicle. Nothing's awful, like in modern-day cars. My favorite thing that this does, it's like a TI, Texas Instruments calculator or some sort of microwave where it has the buttons on the side and then it tells you what they do instead of just making it a bigger touchscreen. I like that more than you would think that I actually would. You have your controls, again, embedded in the wood, nice and classy, not like a weird little plastic in/overlay. The beautiful wood, these cars are like a work of art. You can see the V8 badge over there. You can see your heated and cooled seats, your cigarette lighter. Remember, this is 2004. Just a beautiful interior overall. And my favorite part about this car and what makes it so futuristic is the Phaeton badge, but also the screen. The screen is just so perfect, It's so retro, It makes me feel like I'm playing a pinball game, Distance remaining, pew, 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 pew. You have to shoot the miles per gallon. It's just an amazing car overall. This was one of the craziest cars Volkswagen has ever made, and they still have amazing value today. This one's going for $7,000. This is a 2004 V8 with 128,000 miles on these cars. These cars are just great. All-wheel drive V8, perfect car. These are going to be great in the snow. And this is just one of the most comfortable cars you could ever buy. The last car on this list is the one that I would buy. I love the LS to death. but I have always wanted a Volvo. This is, of course, the Volvo S80. The Volvo S80 was Volvo's biggest sedan from like 2007 all the way up until like 2012. And this is what it looked like. We can see the wood over there, the beautiful tan leather interior. Just overall a beautiful, beautiful car. We, of course, because this is a Volvo of the times, have this wonderful floating, design here, which is impossible to get parts for, but it looks really cool. You, of course, also have amazing space here. I have a listing for a for a 2012, so this is towards the end, and this also has the screen. So you can see the screen there, the wonderful wood, that nice shiny glossy material. You have your gigantic, Volvo steering wheel, very nice. The nice the nice supple leather interior with, of course, that wood, this little nice shape cut out in the door. You have amazing trunk space. Of course, you have your dual information things there. This one, of course, has been had better days. Let's just say that. Right, the front's a little beaten up, the side's a little beaten up. It's a little beaten up overall. This is a T6 all-wheel drive, but you can see the interior is great. You have your DVD player where the radio would be on an older model. Of course, you have all your controls, your temp controls, everything there for your screen. Of course, it's got to have a screen. Overall, just a very nice car to drive. This is one of the most comfortable cars ever. Of course, you have that lovely sunroof. Just amazing. This is one of the most luxurious cars on this list. So, if I had to pick one, which I've already told you, but if I had to pick one, which one would I pick? Well, the LS is nice, but it's also expensive. The GS, I'm not a GS person. The Acura RL, the interior's not for me. The V8 Phaeton is too unreliable for me, and the Volvo S80 is just so classic. I also love these, these wheels on a modern car, you would expect that, but from, these older cars, it's kind of fun to see them get out of their element. Anyway, so with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and that's how you buy a comfortable car.